I don't appear on stages with fireworks and keynote slides. I rarely speak in public, not because I have nothing to say, but because I believe the truest builders don't announce themselves. They build quietly. This is my story. I've never told it like this before. Not to inspire headlines, not to trend on social media, but so that somewhere, someone who feels invisible, uncertain, small, might know that quiet dreams can still shake the world. This is a story of a boy from southern China, not born with connections, not groomed for greatness. Just someone who kept asking himself, what can I build that will outlive me? I was born in 1971, in a city few had heard of back then, Shantou, in Guangdong province. My father was a port manager, a quiet man with calm eyes. My mother raised me with simplicity. We lived modestly, no foreign vacations, no luxury, just the radio, textbooks, and long walks near the harbor. I was not the loudest child in school. In fact, I rarely spoke at all. While others played outside, I sat by the window, watching ships disappear into the mist, wondering where they were going and how far I could go. I was fascinated by stars, space, and science, not for the grades, but because they reminded me how big the universe is and how small we are, until we build something that echoes. In 1989, I got into Shenzhen University, majoring in computer and applied engineering. Shenzhen was no longer a sleepy fishing village. It was becoming a city of ambition, and so was I. College didn't make me loud. It made me precise. I learned programming not as a tool, but as a language, a way to communicate with the future. My classmates were brilliant. Some were faster coders. Some were better presenters, but I had something else. I would sit at my desk for 10, 12, sometimes 15 hours straight, writing code, breaking it, fixing it again. No shortcuts, no applause, just quiet obsession. I wasn't trying to build the next big thing. I was trying to build something that worked. In 1993, I graduated and began working at China Motion Telecom. My salary was 1,200 yuan a month, enough to eat, pay rent, and save just a little. My job, pager, software, but even in something so basic, I saw possibility. What if we could make devices talk to each other? What if humans could speak across space, not just voice to voice, but soul to soul? I waited, watched, learned, and in 1998, I made a decision. I gathered for friends, no investors, no office towers, just 5 people, 1 dream, and a tiny apartment. We built something that felt small at first, a desktop instant messaging tool. We called it OICQ. People laughed. They said, so you're copying ICQ from the West? Maybe. But we weren't just copying, we were reimagining. What if instant messaging could be tailored for Chinese users? Simple, fast, personal. Within months, people were hooked. The user base exploded. We changed the name to QQ to avoid legal trouble. But what we didn't change was the mission, to help people connect. Effortlessly, meaningfully. Those first few years were chaos. We had no revenue. Servers crashed, costs mounted. Investors said, your company has no future, you're burning money. But I held on. I told my team, if we can become the bridge between people, we can build an empire on trust. We added avatars, emoticons, games. QQ became more than software. It became a culture. Every student, every office worker, every teenager was now saying, let's QQ. We were not just a messaging app. We were becoming a digital companion, a presence in people's lives. That's when I understood. Connection is not a feature, it's a feeling. As we grew, new questions emerged. What do people do once they're connected? They play, they laugh, they escape. So we launched online gaming, and later WeChat at first. People said, it's too late. Messaging is saturated. But I had seen something they hadn't. In China, in Asia, in emerging markets, people didn't want complexity. They wanted a simple all-in-one space to talk, pay, book, share, shop, and work. WeChat wasn't an app. It was an ecosystem. And we built it not in one day, but with 1,000 careful choices and millions of hours of quiet obsession. Every decision we made had one question behind it. Will this make life easier? Tencent grew. Beyond messaging, beyond gaming, into music, movies, cloud services, AI, healthcare, but we never lost our foundation. We were always a connection company. I stayed away from cameras. Others became the faces of Chinese tech. I remained the quiet one. Friends asked, why don't you speak more? I'd reply, because when your product speaks to 1 billion people, you don't need to. Today, when I open WeChat, I see a mother sending a photo of her baby to her husband at work, a young man paying for groceries with his phone, a grandmother sharing a video of her hometown. I pause, take a breath, and I feel something deeper than pride, peace, because I know I built something people trust, even if they don't know my face. So, who am I? I am not the loudest voice in the room, not the boldest disruptor, not the headline chaser. I am the one who believed that small ideas, if crafted with care, can become the framework of a new world. I am Mahu-chan, founder of Tencent, a quiet man who dreamed of a better way for people to talk, share, play, and live. And I proved. You don't have to shout to be heard by a billion hearts.